Yes! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Willie and the Hizzy. I am not going to talk about Joe Biden at the beginning. I'm done with the Joe Biden stuff. I'm over it. We get it. The guy is not competent. He's not all there. We know what's going on. We've been saying this for years. It's never been a speech impediment. There are more important things going on in the world. Candace Owens getting called out by Eminem. Unreal. We're shocked. I'm shocked you're shocked. I'm nervous about how she will respond. We'll get into that. So much to get into that with that. But equally, the most important story known to mankind.
I'm gonna come.
It is one of the stories that'll make you cringe. That'll make you worried for your life.
Emotional damage.
Not a joke. Lincoln has officially come out as gay. Not a joke. Super gay. The Democrats have already done so much damage to Lincoln, trying to claim to him as an actual Democrat when we all know full well he's a Republican. How the party switched. And now you want to come out and say he's gay? Oh, that's a line that I won't cross. Not my Lincoln. These colors don't run. The Lincoln I know is straight. The Lincoln I know ain't no. My Lincoln is straight as an arrow. What is your Lincoln, huh? Queen, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Alec Baldwin charges have been dropped. Thanks to Pickles for Hillary. Him and I are both changing our names to Alec Baldwin. We can literally point a gun in someone's face and it'd be totally cool. Let's get into these Candace Owens lyrics, huh? I listened to it, okay? All right, let's get into this. I listened to the Eminem album in the gym before I did this show. Because I don't want to just be one of those commentators that go, we're going to react off of everyone else's reaction and not do any homework. I'm doing the homework. I'm doing the hard work. I listened to the album. It's all right. It's better than the last one. He did a lot of cursing on it. A lot of the old Eminem is back. But at the same time, he can't shut up about MAGA. It's good to see Eminem is super badass and still has TDS. Must be cool to be 50 years old and have TDS. Let's get into these lyrics. Here's the lyric right here that everyone is talking about in his song Lucifer. And let's just preface this, okay? At the beginning of the album, the song before the song about Candace Owens was titled I Evil. And it just talked about how evil he is. And so he goes from talking about how evil of a human being he is to then talking about Candace in the next song. So if you're evil, maybe I shouldn't listen to you. Just saying, maybe you're in the wrong. Maybe you're the bad guy. I don't know. But in this song, he goes on to say, and Candace O. Great, I'm doing great. God, this is, I'm gonna fire my producer. I'm firing myself. And Candace O. Specifically talking about Candace Owens.
Emotional damage.
I ain't gonna throw the fact that we don't say those words here at the Derek O'Shea Show, okay? We just do this. We just press the buttons. I ain't gonna throw the fact that forgot that she was black back at her. What does that even mean? Oh, because you're only allowed to act a certain way if you're black. Liberals aren't the racist ones, okay? Hey, what you doing, Blackie? You're not supposed to act like that. We're not racist. We're different. We just call you out and tell you how to act and how to think. It's different. And Lincoln was a Republican, but he's really a Democrat because Democrats have always wanted to free slaves and Republicans are the ones that wanted to have slaves. Wait, is that even historically correct? No. He goes on, laugh at her like them crackers, because I can say that. I'm white. Look at me. I am beaming in my whiteness. but I am step black. Everyone knows that here at the Derek O'Shea Show. I am step black, and I'm not afraid to actually admit that. Laugh at her like them crackers. She's been back in after her back is turned. Unreal. And then he goes on, in a cute MAGA hat. It is cute. Here at the Derek O'Shea Show, we know that MAGA hats are adorable. I'm gonna come. And a cute MAGA hat with their brand new White Lives Matter shirt. Something that happened like 20 years ago. He's gonna bring it back up from like 20. Hey.
Do you remember when you wore that MAGA hat?
Yeah, that was like 20 years ago. I remember. Some of these soundboards are so annoying. I remember. Oh God, what? It's just updating. Or say this MAGA dirtbag in a skirt. Just opened the biggest can of worms on the whole planet Earth. Called her Grand Wizard, Candace. That is so creative. Oh my God, you're the best rapper alive. Candace? I bet she's never heard of that. Or Grand Dragon. Or like National Anthem, I won't stand for the tramp. Why? In this Eminem album, he goes to call himself evil. He's basically Lucifer. He's basically the most evil person on earth. He can say whatever words he wants to use, and he doesn't care about these woke idiots. He goes on, he says all this stuff in all these songs, and then he goes on to talk about Candace Owens. It's like, you're almost there, bro. Just say that she's not Candace, she's Standis. Queen says, funny how Trump was the man around 2015, now he's Lucifer. Yeah, exactly. But here's her response. And that's what we care about at the Derek O'Shea Show. We want to know, what is Standis thinking? Is she going to stand for this? Is she going to allow a washed up 51-year-old rapper? just a mind thing in it. It doesn't feel like a rap career should stop at age, I don't know, 25. Anybody that's rapping in their 50s and 60s, you're like, isn't it time to like change your music preference? It's like when I'm listening to hip hop, sometimes when I'm by myself, sometimes I'm just like, you know what, Derek, maybe we're gonna listen to country next. Maybe it's time to finally realize country isn't that bad. Okay, here we go with Candace Owens and her interpretation, because I'm excited to see. And nobody loves a grifter like I do. And if there's an opportunity, if someone calls you out in a rap song, you have to make a video about it. You can't just allow it to roll over. This is content. This is what we dream about as content creators. Somebody calling you out, and then you go, oh, I don't even have to think about a video. It's already made for me. Okay.
Because there's a lot happening here. First thing I want to say is Eminem is obviously a gay man. It's very sad that Eminem...
What did you just say? That's the loudest I can get it to, by the way. I apologize.
Because there's a lot happening here. First thing I want to say is Eminem is obviously a gay man. It's very sad that...
Eminem is a gay man. Great. We found out today that Lincoln is gay, and now Eminem is gay. These are changing.
Eminem cleaned out his closet but never came out of his closet. But let's get to these lyrics. I'll read them to you. He writes, or says, or raps, and Candace O, I ain't mad at her. I ain't gonna throw the fact BITCH forgot she was black at her. Oh, laugh at her like them crackers she's backing after her back is turned in a cute MAGA hat with her brand new White Lives Matter shirt. Haha, nope. Or say this MAGA dirtbag in a skirt just opened the biggest can of worms on the whole planet Earth.
No.
Call her Grand Wizard, yeah.
Candace, ha 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 ha.
Or Grand Dragon, or like the National Anthem, I won't stand for the tramp. Why? But I can diss her, because my plans are to get in her pants, and I'll blow my chance if I answer back to her. Oh, but I can't diss her because his plans are to get in my pants. Ew.
Oh. Eminem still thinks he can pull. No way. Queen says, Eminem going through his rich old weirdo phase like Madonna and Michael Jackson. Yes. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I can still pull Candace Owens. Look at me. I'm 51 years old rapper. I used to be the hot guy on TRL. BKL says, hey, Derek and friends watching from Cape Cod, Mass. Yes. Send more migrants that way. Cape Cod, Mass. Joe B is lying his ass off right now. Is Joe Biden talking? Then he is.
Ew, you disgust me. Okay, a lot going on here. I think first and foremost, I just would like to again remind people that he is in fact a struggling internally gay man, and so there's a lot.
Okay, you said it the first time. You don't have to say it again. Now it's not funny anymore, Candace. You gotta pull back, girl. The first time it was funny. I'm cleaning out my closet. You're done. You just keep reiterating it. It's not funny.
Happening with Eminem, and we should pray for him. On the second point, the way that we know that is because he's actually recycling things that black women have said about me on the internet. Like he's pretending this is original, calling me Candace. It's not.
Thank you. I told you it wasn't real.
He's just recycling the black women that don't like me on the internet, have a lot of names for me, one of them being Candy O. So he's like funny. Watched what they're saying, and I guess someone who was listening to him in the booth was like, yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, drop the beat. They're really going to like that. By the way, there's a second song he also dropped. This one's called Bad One. And the lyrics are this about me.
He's got 2 songs about her? I didn't even know that. God. Maybe he has like a secret crush on Candace Owens. It's like everybody and every party. It's like, who is your forbidden fruit? For most on the right, it's AOC. Who is... In the chat, who is your forbidden fruit from the people from the other side of the aisle? Get in the chat, let me know.
Yeah, this whole subgenre with all these corny white rappers, I'm not a fan of it. It ain't my fault, but like sock puppets, I had a hand in it. This $1,000 in my hand is just like what Candace did when she turned her back on her own race, because I have abandoned it. Oh my, so cool.
Candace Owens is devastated. She's never gonna recover. Oh my God, she's literally crying.
That's a tough one.
Keep off the grass, she's married. Nuh-uh, multi-Sean. Eminem said he could still pull her.
That's so tough. The black community is gonna be going crazy.
Thank you, we are.
I don't think that's gonna happen at all. Actually, I'm doing this because I wanna help him go viral because this is sad. This is very sad. I want you to feel sad for Eminem. Okay. Because this is just not the way
I feel sad
for someone's career to go down the drain. And I want us all to do our part to help make Eminem relevant again at the very least, and he can be relevant just by me speaking about him. He understands that. By the way, I did TMZ earlier, and they were asking me, like, you know, in part, though, aren't you honored that someone who's recognized as the greatest white rapper of all time is that
the greatest rapper of all time,
dedicating all this time to you? And I said no, because it would have meant something if he was at his prime. As an example, Dave Chappelle, he made a really, honestly, it was kind of a hideous joke about me. I didn't think the joke itself was funny, but I did appreciate the fact that Dave Chappelle, who is the most famous comedian in the entire world at the peak of his career, was mentioning me on stage.
Same.
Like when he was very sad about George Floyd, and he did this whole skit, and he said some awful things about me. I did have that moment where I went, wow, Dave Chappelle knows who I am. This is not that with Eminem. He is not.
This is a missed opportunity. I wanted her to come back with some bars. Come on. We know you have bars, Candace. Don't hold back on us. The Daily Wire was holding you back. Now, Crisis King bars. Let it rip, girl.
At the peak of his career, he's at the end of it. His career should have ended like 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so
that's what I was saying. People over the age of 50 shouldn't be rapping. Give it up. It's time to be like Lil Wayne and do your rock album.
Not a rapper that's at the top. He's actually doing he's going through a strategy that a lot of new rappers do, where they find out who is the big rapper and they start a beef, right? He's like, oh, nobody knows who I am, so I'm just gonna start a beef with Candace Owens, and he's just fading out of the American mindset entirely. So this is
Okay, I'm getting bored of this. Is anybody else bored of this? I didn't read her clap back, but I thought it was gonna be epic. Come on, Candace. When someone is talking about you, you bring it, girl. You bring it. And know who's gonna bring it? My man Xavier. He's gonna break this down. This has gotta be better, right? This is gonna be better. Hashtag Pride Month, so we know it's gonna be good.
Can white liberals please stop telling black people how to be black? Now walk with me.
All right.
Eminem is the latest white liberal man who has decided to degrade Candace Owens and remind her that she's black. Well, it's reminding me of when a particular leftist told black people who don't support him, then you ain't black. You would think that a man who has spent his entire career being reminded that he's white would understand the ignorance that that statement holds. Now, it is no secret that Candace Owens and I don't align on some recent issues, and that's okay because we are both independent free thinkers. But one thing that is not going to slide is Candace Owens, a black woman who started an entire nonprofit to empower black communities, being called a Klansman because she doesn't align her views with what Slim Shady thinks she's supposed to be pigeonholed into believing. If Eminem ever tried to defend his views against an intellectual like Candace, he'd feel more pressure than a submarine going to see the Titanic. The name of the debate, Ocean Gate.
Now that's a clap back. Walk with me. If Candace, I'm a big fan. Xaviaer DuRousseau. We're big fans here. We're huge fans. Yes, queen. I was like, you better say Ocean Gate. And you did. You did not disappoint. Here's what I have to say about M&M's. You're done for. You just came after Standus. Wait till you hear my wrath. 65 years old, but I still have bars. I wonder what she listens to now. Dude, probably nothing. Her life is over. Candace Owens, Kanye 2024. It's still a thing. Willie says, so gay. How dare you, man? How dare you? Walk with me. I love that start. I'm a big fan of that start.
Can white liberals please stop telling black people how to be black?
That's a hook. When you hook them, now you're hooked. Now you're in it. Now you're feeling it. You're like, yeah, chin it. And then he goes,
now walk with me.
Boom, and you're in it. You're locked in it. You want to know what's going on. Also, what are you drinking? What you drinking, boy? What's in your mouth? Is that a smoothie or a shake? He's got a more shake than McDonald's. I'm crazy. All right, let's get into the real news. We're done. We're done for. The Republican Party's last remaining amazing candidate, Lincoln, has officially been outed as gay. I don't know how to react. You don't know how to react. We're all freaking out. New Abraham Lincoln documentary suggests ex-president had secret gay sex life. Look, I'm a historian. Is this the historians Joe Biden always talks about? Presidential historians say, I'm the greatest president ever created. And it goes on to say, an important missing piece of American history. Yeah. So I deep dived. Because I don't want to just take what these people, these psychopaths, are saying about my straight president who loved to go to the theater. Okay? No straight man would die in a theater during a play. That's gay. I went to my favorite source for all things, Wikipedia. The most credible source known to mankind. I've used it on all my papers. I cite it, and then my professors turn it back to me and say, Derek, that's not a real source. And I say, yeah, but my favorite streamer, Destiny, uses it. And we're big fans of Destiny. Okay, here we go. The sexuality of Abraham Lincoln has been a topic of has been the topic of historical speculation and research. Really? People are freaking out? People are wondering? You know, that whole Civil War thing and going around people and, you know, freeing slaves and all that bullcrap. What about who he's having sex with? That's what I want to know. It's like, who's this guy doing it with? I know he's married, but everyone had a side chick back then. Am I right? BKL says some people say Obama's gay. That'll never come out because he's good with his numbers. No such discussion has ever been documented or shortly after Lincoln's lifetime. However, in recent decades, because we're rewriting history. In recent decades, we've uncovered some things. On his last dying breath, he said, "By the way, I'm gay." And then everyone clapped. Wow, so brave. I mean, some writers have discussed purported evidence that he may have been a homosexual. Wow. He now just became the greatest president of all time, according to the left. Mainstream historians generally hold that Lincoln was heterosexual. Oh, well, mainstream. This is news stream. And this is the D stream. Willie says they have a problem with him being bi. No, this is a celebration. Noting that historical context explains away the supposed evidence and that he had romantic ties with women and he had 4 children and enduring marriage to a woman. Not according to this article, not according to this. Let's watch this together because we need to know. Is he one of them queers? And if he is, we're gonna celebrate it. He just became better as a president in my eyes. He was average, now he's well above average. Okay, here we go.
He is considered a sacred figure by both Republicans and Democrats.
He led the nation through its greatest crisis.
He's on our currency. We build monuments to him.
He's the greatest president the United States has ever had.
Today, the big question that people are asking is, was Abraham Lincoln gay?
That is the big question everybody's asking. In fact, when I was in 6th grade learning about Civil War, I was like, teach, was Abraham gay? Ain't no straight guy like going to theaters back in that day. That's for sure. He was one of them gays. I know it. Oh no, speaking of gay, my green screen is... we're good now. HVAC says, evidence found that he is a homosexual. That's true. Abe tried to keep it under his hat, says BCal. I like that one. That's why his hat was so high. All the rainbows coming out of his head. When I think of like historians, this is exactly who I assume is making up. No, sorry, not making up. Allegedly making up that that Lincoln was gay. Somebody with a scarf on. This woman. This is like you. This is like the grandma you bring to the to Thanksgiving, and you're like, Grandma, don't talk about the fact that Lincoln was gay, please, Grandma. Not this time. We don't want to get into it. You sound crazy. You sound like one of those QAnon people. Okay.
In the 19th century, for many men, their closest relationships were other men, and same for women.
Men could live with...
Oh my God. Turns out they're just brothers. There's no context to any of these pictures too. I love it. You know, it could be men just wrestling each other. They're like, oh, look, this looks gay.
With another man when they're single, and often did, and shared...
Wait. Doesn't this look like a older brother, younger brother thing?
Men could live with another man when they're single.
Look at this. His arm is on his shoulder and his hand is on his lap. Gay. They have to be gay. There's no other reason for men to do this kind of debauchery in front of the camera. God. Look at the way they're looking. Like what? All right, here we go.
Single and often did and shared beds.
Lincoln probably slept in the same bed with men more than he did with women.
One of the things that fascinates scholars is his bedding down with Joshua Speed for 4 years.
There is love between those two men.
When you put together all of the evidence, it's really startling.
Oh, yes, it is. When you put together all the evidence and when you're assuming that he's already gay and then you do a little confirmation bias, he's definitely gay. The guy was gay.
Lincoln has a type: dashing, daring.
We have this notion that if you have an attraction like that, boom, that's your orientation.
Sexuality through the mid-19th century was far more fluid.
But for someone who wanted a political career, it was mandatory that you have a wife.
Dear Speed, I shall be very lonesome without you. Yours forever.
Did they say sexuality back then was more fluid? Many have been reporting that the flag that we use today for the LGBTQ community was used back then. It was actually used in the Civil War battle. Okay. Willie says men were even very chummy back then, even kissed, but did not have sex. See? It's a holy kiss. It's in the Bible. Look it up.
Ever, Lincoln. Yours forever.
Wife.
Dear Speed, I shall be very lonesome without you. Yours forever.
I need to hear that sexuality part. I think this crazy lady with the hair, she was my favorite. Okay, where is she? Okay, all right,
forever,
here.
Lincoln.
What you have in the 19th century was very strict marriage culture. Get married, and then everything is possible.
Captain David Derrickson became friends with Lincoln while they were living here at the cottage.
There is a soldier here devoted to the president, and when Mrs. L is not home, sleeps with him. What stuff?
He was seen wearing the president's nightshirt.
If you want a smoking gun, here it is.
But then you see all these shifts to the end of the 19th century.
I don't know who that was, but I trust him.
See all these shifts to the end of the 19th.
Everyone knows that the 101st Bussy Brigade was General Bragg. That is true. God. Okay. I think everyone was gay back then. Every single person. 2024 is actually the straightest year ever in the record of humanity.
19th century.
HVAC says Lincoln wasn't gay on purpose. Yeah, exactly. Hey, we've all had seasons of our life that were a little different than other seasons. We've all had those moments, right? It's Brad Pitt. I mean, I'm not gay. Okay.
Sure.
Freud was devastating to sexuality, defining very rigid categories.
And they're saying if a man loves another man, it's unnatural.
Homosexuality is a mental illness.
It was not only wrong, it was punishable. If Lincoln were to look down today, he would see the United States at a particularly fragile moment.
I love when they take like old documentaries from like back then and then they try to apply it to today. See Republicans, see, Lincoln would have been very upset with you. He would have not been happy. Okay, Lincoln was gay. It's these Republicans that are just, I don't know what they're doing, but they hate the flag. I'm surprised they didn't just add in January 6th at some point. Just throwing it in there. It's like Lincoln might have been pretty excited about that, actually. All right, here we go.
He would see the United States at a particularly fragile moment.
History is so important because it allows us to understand who we were, who we might become.
Lincoln's legacy is the insistence.
Oh, that picture. He's just rolling his eyes. Everyone knows that anyone that has a picture like this is gay. Queen says, this is grasping at straws for the rainbow cult. Social norms were different. People were more friendly without homo stuff. That's where you're wrong. There have been reports of Lincoln transitioning. There's just reports. It's hearsay. I'm reading it in different sources. My historical sources are the real historical facts. My Lincoln walked around with like rolling his eyes and just doing this a lot. Let old Abe rest in peace. No. Not only do you dig up people, I love the left. Not only do you dig up people and talk about their like previous sins, you know, these great people. Turns out he said the N-word one time. You know, not only do you dig up these old people and just like start mocking them and hating on them, now you get to dig up old people and talk about how gay they were. Hey, Lincoln was my grandfather. He wasn't gay, right? He wasn't gay. Not my grandpa. I'm in the direct bloodline. You're giving freedom in a hot chip. Lincoln didn't burn down half the country to not have black gay discos in the shining sea. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know Lincoln been putting on some parties. You thought Bill Clinton was bad. Wait till you get to the Lincoln tapes of just men sleeping with other men in a very heterosexual way. Biden was live. Oh, just a second ago? Did I miss it? Probably. I'll look into it.
Legacy is the insistence on equality. We have been in the house of power. If you can accept a queer Lincoln, you can accept.
I love that, like, I also love, like, historian stuff like this, how they use, like, trans people. And just, like, you know, because this is an authoritative source. These people know. They get it. This is actually one of their heroes.
We have been in the house of power. If you can accept a queer Lincoln, you can accept queer people overall.
He should inspire us to achieve a true democracy.
What? What was that? If you can accept a queer Lincoln, you can accept queer people. Doesn't matter what you actually do. You know, you can be a really bad person. You're just supposed to accept me. Hello. God, I just want to hear that one more time. That was ridiculous.
People overall.
Okay, wait. Okay.
You can accept queer people overall.
He should inspire us to achieve a true democracy for everyone.
I'm turned on. Donald Trump watching this documentary, he's like,
I'm gonna come.
Okay. Was Abraham Lincoln the original log cabin Republican? Do you guys think he's gay? Get in the chat. I love reenactments. It's like, I wonder if this person right here is like, I can't believe I'm shaming him like this. I'm making it all look stuff. The movie delves into the history of human sexuality and fluidity and focuses on the profound differences between sexual mores in the 19th century. HVAC says, I no longer support democracy. Me neither. I'm over it. Enough with the FX sound. You can leave. I don't care. I can do my show however the frick I want to do my show. I appreciate your ridiculous comment. Now, bye. Mary Todd. What is Mary Todd thinking? I mean, Mary Todd may have been a dude for all we know. Look at this. In the new hit play by a trans person. Why? I just... Jeez. They probably found like one document and then they just wrote this entire piece. It was like, well, how can we be controversial? We can't just say people are gay anymore. No one cares. But we'll take away some of the pillars in the community. We will take those people away and we will get rid of them. And Lincoln was a pillar. And Republicans need to stop using him as a great Republican. And these people, I trust her. I trust her. I trust these. This is what a real historian looks like. She just graduated. I mean, is this... Okay. I'm just done with it. We don't believe it. Can't be true. Can't be true. Not my Lincoln. Not my Lincoln. Not my country. These colors don't run. These colors don't run. But it gets worse, folks. You thought the Eminem stuff was bad. You thought learning about Lincoln being gay was bad. Wait till you find out about this. Wait till you find out that it turns out Donald Trump is going to bring about Nazism 2.0. I didn't know, you didn't know, but now you're going to know. I want to hear from the brightest and best representative known to mankind, Crockett. Take it away.
Right now, what they are trying to do is institute Nazism 2.0 in the United States. And guess what? It's going to be us. It's going to be on the receiving end of all of it. So I could go on and on and on about the terrible things that are in there. But
yeah, why do that? Why back up any claim you make about somebody in a different party other than you? Why back it up? Don't back it up. Just say things. I love these people. He's bringing about Nazism 2.0. What does that mean? I could go on. I could tell you all day long. I love that there are some people that believe this kind of stuff. Is anybody noticing that this Project 2025 stuff is basically the Democratic Q stuff? Like, it's literally the most fringiest things ever. I just went through like some of my Facebook friends, and some of them are posting stuff of like, if you don't believe Project 2025 is a thing and think it's going to destroy this country, delete me as a friend. I'm like, I always want to reply underneath. How do I delete you? I love what she says. I can go on and on and I could go on and on. And then her friend's like, yes, you could.
all of it. So I could go on and on and on about the terrible things that are in there.
Right.
But the basis of it, they're saying it has to be Christianity. And the fact is, everything has to be really Christo-fascism.
Could you imagine?
So what they're trying to do is say, if you're not doing it our way, then you can't do it. Right now.
Wow. I could go on and on and on about how much I hate that video. But I'm choosing not to. Because I think you're ridiculous. Yeah, I love that, like, any kind of critique for her too as well is like seen as, oh, you're racist. Oh, the only reason you don't like the way Crockett talks is because of like the way she goes about it, you know, because of her ethnicity or the tone in her voice or her mannerisms. It's not that what she's saying is ridiculous. Yeah, like, you're gone. All right. But it gets worse. Trump will make Nazism better. Yeah. Isn't Project 2025 about cleaning the country for citizens? Honestly, I've read Project 2025, whatever freak out stuff, and it's kind of like one of those things that you think, is it that bad? It's kind of a fun thing to tweet. Like the other day I tweeted like, Project 2025 is going to force AR-15s into every hands in every citizen with unlimited ammo. And I just feel like people on the left are actually believing this kind of stuff. Like that Trump is going to issue in not Christian fascism. Trump. What about Trump says I'm a big Christian fascist? Like these people just make up stuff and then they try to like pull from straws of like, what is the most outrageous thing we could say? And it's that. I don't know if you watched the ESPYs the other night where they openly mocked the kicker Bucker from the Chiefs and just said, like, you're not welcome here because you're a Christian. I mean, at this point, the left is so anti-Christian, it's so obvious. Like when I grew up as a kid, I thought the left just kind of thought Christians were annoying or stupid, or they just believed in this whole thing of faith was just a stupid thing to believe in. I thought that's what they believed in. But at this point, it feels like, and you and I both know, it's very anti-Christian. Well, it's incredible how they like cling on to like Islam as like this peaceful religion, but then they see Christians as like this fascist thing, like, you know, love your neighbor as yourself. Like that is the fascism you need to be afraid of. The idea that people are going to go around and just be a good neighbor is too much. Just fire alliteration to be fair to Crockett. Yeah, she is fire. Oh, she's fun. I love her. She's got great. I mean, anybody that speaks with that kind of confidence, we support. We're big fans of them. Speaking of confidence, it's like, I saw this video being passed around of Kamala, because again, remember that Kamala Harris is going to be Joe Biden's replacement. She is. And they are going to do everything in their power to not make it possible, because Kamala Harris, deep down inside, is not liked by the black community or by any community because she panders. I mean, just the other day, I posted that clip where she's like, can I testify? Can I get a witness? And like, I had a black guy that wrote underneath and was like, this white brother is getting her pandering to the black community. I'm like, yeah, it's so obvious. She just makes up stuff.
I don't mean no disrespect.
Like this right here. This man right here breaks down what Kamala Harris to a T.
I don't mean no disrespect, and I don't claim to be a political analyst. But I ain't seen or heard from this woman in about 4 years, and she pop up at the Team USA training camp. And watch this. This is the coldest part, because they finna look at her like, what the hell you doing here? You know how that one family member just pop up at the barbecue who you ain't seen in hella long? Like, where the hell you been at? We ain't seen you in forever. This what this feels like. Like, this, I don't get it. Maybe y'all know more than...
You know what she's doing right now? She's explaining to these athletes what basketball is. She's like, you guys are professional athletes. You guys are going to be representing the United States of America. And when you dribble the basketball with your hand like this, and then you put it in the basket, you are going to be celebrated. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And again, we're back. We're back with the old Biden. This clip today of Biden is my favorite. The Dems voted against having ID to vote. Of course they knew. They're voting against ID to vote. They voted against the SAVE Act, which was like just a bill recently that I did a video on. It's a pretty good video. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. They did a video. I mean, they did a bill. It was just about U.S. citizens voting. Yes, it's silly. You don't need to make a bill about that unless you're wondering if they're going to allow non-citizens to vote, which they already are in some local stuff, not in federal, but in some local stuff. So it begs to ask the question, why you would vote no, unless you have a hope where non-citizens can vote in our elections. And then it begs the question, you're so worried about Russian disinformation and Russians interfering. Whoa, what just happened? Russians interfering in our elections? Well, now you can just have Russians vote. Like, what? We're just in an upside down world. You should be Kamala Harris speechwriter, Derek. Oh my God. Queen, that is literally my dream job. I would write the most epic speeches for Kamala and make her look incredible. And then we would talk about Venn diagrams every day. Balls are round, balls bounce, baskets are round and don't bounce. Yeah, 100%. 100%. But here's Biden today. Again, he's just fine. So don't say that Biden's not fine, because he's doing great. Okay, here we go.
And so I decided I wasn't going to get engaged in public. I wasn't going to run again. I had been vice president.
Yeah.
I was a professor, a full professor at the University of Pennsylvania at the time.
That's a lie. I think he went to Pennsylvania and went in and just guest spoke in a class, and people called him professor. I was like, "Professor, can I have a question?" And he's like, "Wait, what'd you call me?"
I said professor.
I'm a professor?
Yes, you're a professor.
And what happened was that I was going to stay out of it. But then what happened was, remember down in Charlottesville, Virginia, when those folks came out of the woods carrying torches and Nazi banners? And
isn't that incredible? It's like, I was a professor at some point in my life in University of Pennsylvania. Remember when a bunch of Nazis came out?
Emotional damage.
Do you guys remember when Nazis came out of the forest? Do you remember that? And then we lied about saying Trump said it was good people on both sides. Do you remember that? We still believe it. Kamal makes my head and my ears and my heart hurt. Amen. JR says in Arizona, there's a loophole for federal elections. Illegal migrants could vote. That's part of why they did the SAVE Act. Of course. How dare you? Don't spread misinformation. Okay, here we go.
the woods carrying torches and Nazi banners and literally singing the same Nazi. Anyway.
Wait. Did you see? Look at this lady. She's asleep. The transition between I was a professor to you remember Nazis is incredible to me. This guy's mind is gone.
And public, I wasn't going to run again. I had been vice president.
Yeah.
I was a professor, a full professor at the University of Pennsylvania at
Really?
the time.
Where'd that come from?
And what happened was that I was going to stay out of it. But then what happened was, remember down in Charlottesville, Virginia, when those folks came out of the woods carrying torches and Nazi banners and literally singing the same Nazi, anyway, same song sung in Germany in the 30s. And a young woman was killed.
Yeah, what song was that? I don't know. We're just saying stuff. These Nazis were going around. They were going around everywhere. They were singing the same. They were singing a song, and I was a professor at the time. And anyway.
I was a bystander.
Uh-huh.
And that young woman I met, I talked to the mother.
I sniffed her.
And the press contacted Trump and asked him, they said, well, what do you think? He said there were very good people on both sides.
Oh, nice.
Very good people.
Yeah, we're still doing that lie. A lie that's been completely debunked, we're still saying it. Because why? His voters are dumb. That could be the only reason. If you can just, I mean, he's said this story, the same story, like 100 times. At no point did anybody look at him and go whisper to him, hey, Joe, that's not true, man. So stop saying it. You're just looking ridiculous. He's like, no, this story rocks. This story gets the people going. This is the story that everyone is totally stoked on me to have. This is the reason the entire reason you ran for president was built on a lie. It's incredible. Yeah, I'm sure the reason you didn't run for president was because you're an egomaniac who want everyone to remember you as like some incredibly awesome Uncle Joe guy that you can get ice cream with. I know for two things, ice cream and Ray-Bans. Really? Well, now you're going to be known for a lot more stuff because a lot more stuff has come out. And now even the Democrats hate you because you won't bow out. They're even threatening you with not giving you your campaign funds. Now, I'm against that kind of big money in campaigns to begin with. And I think it's wrong that they're doing that because it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't need that much money to run for president anyways. But now even the Democrats are going to hate you. And we all on the right told you that Joe Biden is a douchebag. He's always been. He's not a good guy. Let's stop talking about it. Biden has taken low lifism to a whole new level, 100%. They believe and they will conform. 100%. Biden is even getting the lie wrong now. Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, yeah, Trump made a phone call and he said some things. Speaking of saying some things, do you guys remember yesterday when Trump said that Joe Biden, that his VP was Vice President Trump? Did anybody catch that? Yesterday, Biden literally said, Kamala Harris, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be my vice president if I didn't think she was not qualified to be president. He literally said that exact words. And here is the White House government issuing a statement saying, look at the line. Just a little line through it. A little line through it. This is what he meant to say. Great. We now have a commander-in-chief. Now you have to read between the lines. You can't actually take what he's saying at face value. And it's not like Trump, where Trump would just like say things that are over the top, outlandish, like a good salesman. You know, it wasn't a 6-inch fish. It was the biggest fish I've ever seen. You know, that kind of stuff. That's what the liberals go crazy about. Trump said there was 20 billion people at his last rally. There was only 5 billion people. You're like, okay, we don't, nobody cares. But now it's like, now we just have a president that just says stuff. And again, everybody on the left was talking about how incredible of a job he did. Like my favorite commentator.
No knowledge of President Biden just gave an hour-long press conference with no notes, no teleprompter, no knowledge of the questions before.
Though there was teleprompters. Yeah, and he did call Zelensky Putin, which it's hard to tell the difference at this point.
And he executed it perfectly.
He was
President
perfect.
Biden just gave an hour-long press conference.
That was the most boring press conference known to mankind. It was terrible. All of us that were watching that yesterday were thinking to ourselves, how is this happening? They literally gave Joe Biden the quote. They were like, Joe, when you get in there, talk everyone's ear off to show how smart of a person you are. An hour. In his hour, yesterday, Joe Biden released his hour-long special that he's been working on for years. Not only that, he showed up an hour and a half late. Biden, JBT, Joe Biden time. Aladdin says Biden is the greatest bullshit artist in American history. He really is. Joe Biden has been a professor. He's been an 18-wheeler truck driver. He started the Civil Rights Act. He also started NATO. He marched with Martin Luther King. He had Corn Pop rub his legs. He's done everything.
With no notes, no teleprompter, no knowledge of the questions beforehand, and he executed it perfectly.
Yeah, he had no knowledge of the questions beforehand. He just had a list and a specific order of reporters to call on. He had no idea. I love when people that have been paid by the Biden campaign talk about how great Joe Biden is. Like in my eyes, the minute you start getting paid by some of these campaigns, your credibility goes out the window. Now you have a bias. Now everyone knows that, oh, daddy's got to collect a check, and so daddy can't talk like he used to talk. So if you ever catch me all of a sudden, let me just be honest with you. If you ever catch me all of a sudden talking about how great Nikki Haley is, you're going to know why. If I start winking at you, Nikki Haley's the greatest American president, potential president of our generation. When I start winking at you, you know daddy's collecting checks. At least I'm honest, all right? If Nikki Haley shows up and is like, Derek, here's a couple $1 million. You got my back? Oh, yeah, babe. I got you, girl. I got you. I don't think I could do that. I don't have it in me. I like some of these political commentators that talk and they just like big up certain candidates, even if what they're doing they don't agree with. They're just like, he's amazing, he's incredible. I don't have that bone in me that can just lie to people. Like, I think that's why, like, my biggest thing about this podcast, I just hate liars, and I want to go after liars. And so many of the liars are politicians and people in the media, and I just hate it. And so it makes me laugh, and it makes me cringe, and it makes me cry. But I can't become that for you. I can't. But we'll see. I've also never been offered a couple $1 million to talk for a politician. For the right check, I'd be champion Biden. He elections back 3 times a week. 100%. Willie says, when you get paid, you can't talk from the heart and you make up bullshit. Oh, 100%. And you can kind of see it, you know, these people that have been paid by political commentators, there's like no life in their eyes. Like, they just look.
President Biden just gave an hour.
Like, I don't think this kid blinked once. Like, there's just, and everything's like overhyped, you know? It's like, President Biden gave the best speech known to mankind. You're like, was it that bad? Was it that good? You can be like a pro Biden person and be like, you know what, Joe Biden, he actually looked pretty soft. He was boring. He looked like he was starting to lose energy, all that kind of stuff. I would like, and then, but you agree with what he says, I would actually have an okay conversation with you. But if you are overhyping a man that looks like he's about to fall asleep, I can't follow you. The great Hannibal Lecter, if Trump said they would be allowed, would be all over him for days. The great Hannibal Lecter, if Trump said that they would be all over him for days. Oh, 100%. Sorry. Sometimes my dyslexia is a bit of a okay. This is one of my favorite videos of the day. We can't go a day without Joe Biden sniffing somebody. And I love that Fox News like cuts away the minute he starts sniffing. So the real president, Jill Biden, is talking. We all know who's behind the mirror now. Everyone's talking about how Joe Biden's consoling with Hunter. No, he's talking to his wife, the teacher. You did so good, Joe. You're amazing. Oh my God. Watch Joe Biden as the minute she starts talking, just like a good husband. He's like, oh, my wife's talking. It's so boring. I'm going to go sniff a child. Okay, watch this. Look at dude, he saw that kid from across the aisle. He's like, I'm making a beeline.
That it's going to get worse. Do you think it'll get worse? I lost this.
Oh, it's a black kid. Oh, he's got to make it up for that one girl that he missed last week. Look at him. Oh, it's just I smell that cocoa butter. That face. Yeah, I did it. His face. It's just. He's a good guy, though. Joe Biden's a good guy. The poor woman that got fired for telling about them giving questions before the interview. Oh, yeah. What was it? Pennsylvania radio host. That was the best. All right, guys. I've had so much fun with you guys today. I hope you guys have had fun, too. This has been a fun stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys. What did we learn about? Lincoln's gay. Candace Owens' clapback was of epic proportions, and I'm not paid by her. She totally destroyed Eminem. And but the most important thing is that Lincoln is gay. We're all sad about that. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll see you on Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Come hang out with us if you don't mind. I might pop some videos out a little later. And remember, it's hot out there, folks. It is hot, hot, hot. Because of global cooling. Have a great weekend, everyone. Peace out. Drop a like on this video if you do not mind. Keep grinding.